Well, go on, Kyle. Go on.
There's nothing to do, nothing to do.
Are you sure?
I'm
Uh,
positive.
I've heard the song behind the scenes.
No, you didn't, because you put that starting thing on and it mutes the microphone.
I see. Well, hello there, folks.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Whatever time it is.
Here we are again for another episode.
I guess it
We're
must be
still,
fate.
yeah, we're still doing this against all odds.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, yeah, today we have a rather usual episode. We talk about stuff and
Good to have
games.
sometimes.
Yeah, and we also have a topic of the day, which is top 5 jungle games, uh, which I came up with and really struggled with.
Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of your own fault.
Yes, I love to punish myself. Uh,
Oh.
well, okay, let's just
Let's jump
roll
in.
in. Let
After
let's
that.
yeah, let's go to our first topic, which is the Watcher's Babble. We babble about what we watched.
Yep, that's true. Is it time for me to go?
Tell me, Kyle.
All
Tell
right,
me
goodbye.
more.
So I have been watching, or recently watched, my way through season 17 of Taskmaster.
Oh, I see.
So Taskmaster is not this show. Um, I'm just wondering what kind of penguin that would be. Taskmaster is a somewhat silly show that is, there you go, that's the one, where you have Greg Davies as the Taskmaster and Alex Horn is his assistant. And there are various people who are modestly well known in the UK, and they compete to do silly tasks. And at the end, there's really no prize. It's just a silly show of people being silly. The tasks range from very creative things to very mundane. Sometimes, like on this season, there was one where they had to name a body part, a garden implement, and some other things, and then they had to juice oranges using only the body parts and the and the various implements that they had named. So one lady was trying to do it with her breasts and a garden hose, and another man was trying to juice things with just his forearm. It's silly stuff. Lots of fun. They're all available on YouTube on the Taskmaster YouTube page, which is the best place to watch them, and they're delightful. There's each season's about 10 episodes, and it's fun to watch people being silly for really no reason.
I see. All right, that's cool. I'll look into that one.
It's a low stakes show, and because it's so, and that's kind of part of its charm is that it is so low, such low stakes,
Yeah, yeah. Why not?
and they all take
Uh,
it very seriously. Um,
sure, sure they do. For mine, this is I would say, high stakes show. Not really high stakes, but rather well produced or well built. Literally built. This is another Korean show, so I'm all Korean. Yeah, I I only watch Korean shows now. There's so many. There's so many on Netflix,
yeah, there are Korean shows have kind of taken over Netflix. Um,
which is fine with me. They have good shows. Anyway, this one is escape room like reality show with Korean celebrities who I do not know,
of course
and
not.
I never. So this is Agents of Mystery, and I look. I'm still struggling with keeping up with all the names, and there are like some story elements where they encounter new names, and all I hear is blah 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 blah, and like it's just too much. I need I need Netflix to translate it, so I watched it in English. I need Netflix to translate them to John, Joshua, I don't know, Sam, to make it easier
Okay.
for me.
Hello, Korean people. We don't hate you. Um,
We don't hate you. It's just
um,
so hard to follow. Like, oh, that was that guy. I'm like, who? Anyway, this is a show which has 6 episodes, and it's like 2 stories or 2 escape rooms. One of them is some kind of a cult thing where they get into whatever the factory and there's a cult and they uh, try to not them but the anti-heroes, they try to get the demon out, the Moloch or something like that. And then the
oh.
second, so it's like three episodes per escape room per room, and then the second room is submarine, where there is a some kind of a creature that they encountered, and the creature eats heads and whatever they need to. So basically, this is a they are encountering stuff. The places that are built are really well built. I mean, like it's really cool. It's like almost like submarine thing, and then some things to happen and some jumps, little bit of jump scare there, and Koreans how they are, all very polite and you know uh not yeah they're not really like going into battle. They're like, oh, let me try this thing, let me try, excuse me, oh, I'm so sorry, and it's all of that thing going on. But
I
there
see.
are there are puzzles they need to solve. Some of them with text and like escape
Oh,
room puzzles and things and different stuff.
is
And
it text in Korean?
um, there were some things that were like in English as well. For some
Okay.
reason, there was like Korean, English, and then some gibberish language, which
Oh,
in the cultist one. Anyway, I enjoyed the show. It's really cool to watch the all those premises, how they were built, etc. And yeah, it just I would love to be a part of that kind of a thing. If there would be such escape room with like huge premises, a big huge factory with different rooms, how they need to move from room to room and hide sometimes, if to not
yeah,
get
but you
caught by
don't.
cultists or monster. Huh?
You don't speak Korean.
I know, if there would be one in English.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you like escape rooms, you should definitely watch that one. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, there you go. I haven't heard about it, but I'm sure I will soon.
Oh, you will. Anyway, let's get to another topic, which is recent plays. Let me get to
Yes.
this page over here. Tell me more.
Well, occasionally my life gets invaded by a game, and and I just play that
Isn't that
game for a
always?
long time. And that game right now is Primal. I have been playing this thing pretty much every day, pretty much twice a day. Um, I,
Should I say
I
it's your
am just.
primal game?
It is definitely working its way into my favorite games. I guess I'll say it like that.
There's so many pictures out there.
There are not very many, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I just took a whole bunch of them for the magazine that I'm doing an article for. Um,
I see.
and it is so. This is one of the best boss battling games that there is. You are a team of 2 to 4 heroes, and it's very tactical. You are going to pick one of these big bosses, and the boss has like this stance, and based upon where you are, you can either hit it or you can't, and so you've got to kind of move around to where it's going to be, and you got to hit it as quickly as you can, but then it's going to react to what you're doing. It's kind of fun that the boss doesn't have its own turn. It's not like, do these 6 steps instead. It's, you can see it's going to react to a red card, it's going to react to being behind it, and it's going to react when either of those two triggers, or whatever it happens to be. And it's kind of fun because you can learn what those cards do. It's usually a deck of 9 cards. It's not that hard to figure out what 9 cards do. Uh, and so it's very dynamic. I like that there's 10 or so bosses in the box, and then there's another 6 to 8 that you can get in the expansion boxes, and they're all very different, and they come in different difficulty levels. And if you don't want to play the campaign, you can jump in on any of them and just play them all as one-offs, and the game has great tools to do that. I like just about everything about the game. It is incredibly fiddly, and there's a lot to keep track of, but I just really love this, and every time I'm not playing it lately, it seems that I'm thinking about playing it. And I just am really, really into this one right now.
I see. That's cool. You have a separate episode for that, the Wednesday Whimsy episode. So anybody wants to know more about the game, Kyle himself will introduce you to the game.
Yes, and if you come visit me, we can play it.
Pros and cons. Yeah, not a boss battler type of gamer.
Well, I'm excited because when Victor comes, if he's looking for something to do, I may have to ask him to paint all these minis.
Yeah, and play that amazing game. That will be next year. That will be when it comes out, probably.
Oh,
the game.
This
that
game's
should
already
not be
out.
named. Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
That other game. The one that if it fits, it sits.
Oh, you're talking about the Dixits.
No,
I thought you said I couldn't talk about that one.
No, it's not. Yeah. Oh, Dixit. Okay. You said Dixit. Yeah, Dixit is a good game. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, so what did I do? I did nothing. I played nothing. I have no recent plays.
Okay.
I played some video games, and I finished the second DLC of Pokemon on my Nintendo Switch, and I'm all happy now.
I see.
I'll maybe catch a few legendary Pokemons there. Maybe we'll see, but yeah, I'm happy enough.
Played anything recently?
Well, no, sadly not.
Okay.
It's sometimes nobody has time for games. Estonian.
It's a sad time.
Yeah, Estonian people are serious people.
Oh, it's that holiday. That's why. Okay.
It's that holiday today, yeah. But anyway.
Okay.
All right. So that's that.
Well,
no recent plays from me. Yeah. I try to stay, try to stay, maintain the speed. Sorry.
Got it.
Let's get to another topic, which is crowdfunding.
All right. And, so there was one I was going to talk about, and I was planning to, but shortly before we started filming, someone told me I could not talk about Dixits, the game where if it fits, it sits, which is on Kickstarter right now. So instead, I'm going to talk about a different game. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. Instead, I'm talking about The Mountains of Godai, which is on GameFound.
Okay, not Night Shift. Okay, all right, very good.
No. Mountains of Godai. There you go. Right there in the middle.
Okay, it's a Hexploit.
And this is Volume 5 of Hexploit. So I love Hexploit. I don't know if anyone else does, but apparently some people do because they keep making it. So Hexploit is a system of games. The first one was fighting a necromancer. The second thing was fighting a fairy in the forest. The third was a desert landscape. The fourth was a vampire castle. And now we have this sort of Asian-inspired mountain theme. It's very much, well, it could be. I'm not going to put it on our jungle list because I have not played it. But what you're doing in Hexploit is it's very much a role-playing game that you just kind of play by yourself. And so you're going to create a character, and the character is represented by a whiteboard, and you're going to use a black sort of dry erase marker to sort of upgrade your stats. You have things you're trying to do, special abilities, and you're just going to go on adventures. That's sort of base Hexploit. The hook here is, of course, new characters, but supposedly it's adding a tower defense type mechanism. So you're going to kind of go out and get your stuff, and then you're going to kind of set up, and a siege is going to happen, and you have to sort of repel the siege. And then you're going to go out and have another harvest, and then repel the siege again. All this stuff is compatible, so you could take the heroes from whichever whichever first one there is, from I don't know the Necromancer one, or from the Forests of Adrimilon. You can take those heroes and bring them in here. You can take this stuff and put it back and fight the fairy. This game's just a lot of fun. It is, it's a little bit on the fiddly side. The rules have gotten better, but the first edition were not great. There are also 2 very large campaign books, like bound books you can play through for this if you want more stuff. If you like Hexplorit, this is going to be an easy choice to add to your collection. If you don't know that you like it yet, well, you could back this one and see, or you can get one of the existing 4 that's already out there and play it right now. Looks like this one's probably supposed to come in early 2026. This company's been pretty good at getting its stuff on time, so it probably really will come at that time. And it's more Hexplorit.
Yeah, sure. Why
I'll
not?
have to show you Hexplorit sometime.
We'll see about that.
There's 4 different worlds you can explore.
Yeah, sure.
And I
I'm
will
so
tell you,
excited.
The title
Ooh.
makes it sound like it's a joke, like a silly game. It's actually very serious. It's not.
I mean,
it really should have a different title. It has a terrible name. But
I mean the usual price for everything is like about $1,000, but you can get it for 40% cheaper. As you can see here.
Well,
if anybody wants to, invest into the game right away without knowing anything about the game, that's the right pledge to do.
Yeah, well, I would recommend just buying one set and trying it. And you'll see that the game comes with 2 expansion boxes. Those are probably not something you need. Those, in my experience, based on the other ones, are going to be a few more characters and a few more monsters, which will, if you play a lot of the other set, like if you just, play the heck out of the first Explore It, well, then those are going to be nice because there'll be alternate bosses and a couple alternate heroes. But you could buy just the $69 pledge and get a whole lot of gameplay out of just the core box, at least if this one's anything like the other 4 in the series, and I suspect it will be.
A lot of fun for just 69. All right, colors.
Yes. Oh,
Sure.
Did you see there's the 69th expansion for Clinic? It's not on Kickstarter or anything. It's just on the website. It's all about sex addiction. Since you mentioned
that.
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Yeah.
Mine is on Kickstarter, and I thought about the 2 games, the one where you can sit and the other one where you have a nightclub or something like that. But, let's not talk about that and rather talk about, there's Rise of Wastelands. They send me a separate message about this one. Like, on BGG, they're like, ooh, we saw this game on your wish list, and do you want to back it? I'm like,
well, that's one way to get it, eventually.
No. I'm not backing any games, because, I don't want to... Like, the Hexplore It is February 2026, which means probably March 2027. Anyway, this one is...
I don't think this company's been pretty accurate with its predictions.
Yeah, you never know. So this one is, you still have some time. This one is Pillars of Hercules. And this says Epic Civilization board game. I don't really think so. Everybody that says Epic Civilization board game, no. But it's a Civ-like game as it seems, with Greek mythology. And you know I'm a sucker for Greek mythology and Civ games usually, so this one looks interesting, good. Little map, roaming around, upgrading yourself, probably fighting as well. Looks
Mm-hmm.
kind of beautiful, and I don't know if there's like miniatures or I don't know. Sometimes I enjoy, for this one, I kind of feel it doesn't need any miniatures, and I enjoy the meeple structures or whatever, the wooden structures and wooden pawns here. Yeah, not much to say. I don't know about the game that much, but it looks
Okay.
interesting. Oh, I see. There seems to be a plastic as well, and this one is only $49 for the classic edition, which is probably wooden things, and the epic edition has miniatures, of course, and this is $89, which is not that. Oh, here. Oh, there's one more. The ultimate package, 105.
Hey, there you go.
But I
You
mean,
gotta
you can,
have the ultimate package.
yeah, if you really want to have everything. But
I mean,
I've add-ons, some items, extra things. Probably the heroes are miniatures, but you can buy this game for $50 plus shipping, which is not that much. And it might be good, might be bad. And it's coming out May 2025, which is about a year from now. Considering that this is the company that is rather new,
mm-hmm.
they created two things. They created rulers of Yucatán,
Oh, that game was
and this one looks
complicated.
beautiful. It looks
Yeah.
beautiful. But yeah,
All right.
anyway, why not? Why not?
Why not? There you go.
Let's get to another topic, which is buy, try, goodbye.
All right. So I tried, of course, to find 3 jungle games that you had not indicated that you had played. Um,
I see.
and I'm always hopeful that I am going to be successful in finding 3
Oh,
games of some particular
I, just
topic.
I just got a message from a weird phone number suggesting that I really want to get into some unverified relationships with someone. A lot of
Oh, well, I mean,
scamming recently.
do you need me to take this on by myself so you can handle the the
The
relationship
message?
offers?
No, my phone detected a spam and deleted it. So
Oh, I see. Well, how sad. All right. Well, the 3 games I have for you to talk about, which I believe you have not played. The first of which is a solo game. And I know you don't play many solo games. This game features a jungle. It is about
I just
surviving all alone on an island in making use of the jungle, and that game is called Friday.
yeah, that's the one I had
And didn't
in a
play?
way, but did not play because
Okay.
I didn't care about it.
So
But I was about to play it. But yeah, whatever.
it's kind of a deck building game where you're trying to help. You're just trying to survive on this island, and so you're going to do experiences. And if you don't die, you're going to learn from them and get to sort of upgrade cards in your deck. And as you do so, you're going to go through your deck, and it will get stronger and stronger, but the threats will get worse and worse. And eventually, some pirates are going to come, and you either repel them or you don't. And if you repel the pirates at the end of 3 rounds, I believe, you win the game. If you don't repel them, well, then you die. And you can start again. It is a game for just one. It is a fun little game. It's got, kind of its own quirks about it. It's another game from mad scientist game designer Friedman Fries. It's definitely the best of his little one small box solo games. So that is the first, Friday. The second is a deck building game featuring jungles, and that game is the Quest for El Dorado. This is a racing
Yeah.
game where you are trying to build your deck and race towards certain locations to get there first. As you go through, you'll sort of see, okay, I need green cards to go through the jungle, or I need brown cards to go through the plain region. And so you're going to sort of buy these cards and build up your deck, and then on your turn you're going to play them and move as far as you can. There's different thresholds and sort of break points you have to reach, and as cards become unavailable from a stack, you get to pick the new stack that comes out. So it's a small deck building game. The only real thing I don't like about it is that it uses those tiny cards, which is kind of annoying. But it's a fun little game. It's enjoyable. It works with just about any type of group. That is the Quest for El Dorado. And the third one is the Tomb of Annihilation. And this is a game from sort of a... yep, that's the one. There you go. This is from a series that started with, I believe, Wrath of Ashardalon. And these are sort of Dungeons and Dragons type board games where you're going through, in this one, the jungle and eventually a temple and trying to explore it. And, you'll use a D20 to sort of fight off monsters. They're going to show up, and eventually you'll level yourself up and become a better character with greater abilities. It's sort of designed to be a role-playing-like experience, but, playable without going through all the rigmarole of a role-playing game. Definitely a lot of exploration and fun, and this is the third, and I believe, no, is it the fourth? The fourth, and I believe the last one in the series. There was Castle Ravenloft, Wrath of Ashardalon, Legends of Drizzle, and then this one. So yeah, the fourth one. It's fun. It's light on rules, but you can just jump right in.
I see.
So 3 jungly games you've not played.
You've been jungling around. Yeah, I don't play solo, and Friday is not something I would usually play. But it seems to be lighthearted and easy to get into. Hopefully.
Yes.
Quest for El Dorado, I was at some point thinking about buying, but because of the deck building aspect, it seems to be with the cards. But yeah, racing is not my thing. So though I was thinking about it, I don't know. I just don't like racing that much. So Quest of El Dorado will be goodbye for me. Friday, between those two, yeah, I'll put Friday on a try list.
Even though you already bought it and said goodbye to it. So Friday gets all 3 slots.
It wasn't really me who bought it.
I see.
It was another person a long time ago. I think maybe it was me, but whose money was spent, I don't know. At that point, it was a shared buy. Yeah, and the buy option here is a Tomb of Annihilation. Annihilation, yeah. Just because you said it's not that heavy on the rules, and sometimes I'm eager to try very trashy games. Lately, I've been kind of leaning towards those bigger experiences and just rolling dice and moving the miniatures around. I really want to get into some of these games. I've been kind of fatigued from all of those Euro games. Moving cubes. I want to move miniatures now. More story. I want more story. I want more exploration. I want to feel part of the world. But if I play, though I love many games, but let's say when I play, let's say Evenfall, which is a really good game, I don't really feel like I'm in that world. and many others, many other Euro games that seem to be thematic in a sense, but are not. So yeah, that's my bye. Try. Goodbye.
Very well.
Let's get to the topic of the day, which is
Hooray!
top 5 jungle games. Here we
And
are.
for you, it might end up being 5 jungle games.
Yeah, I think
So
I just
you might
remembered.
have to explain where this particular topic came from, because this was your thought. What made you think of a jungle?
Look, first of all, I just remembered a few more games that could fit the genre, but maybe because I forgot about them, I don't think they're as highly rated on my lists. So who cares? The other thing is that I kind of feel like I don't know. I was just thinking about exploration games and shows about adventure exploration. It's like it's always cool to have this jungle theme. That's where I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. That's where it came from. And then I looked at my collection and there was a game that was like, I've not played this one in a while. I should play it
Mm-hmm.
again. I don't know. I just feel like jungle theme or anything with jungle in a game seems to be to be an adventure game, most likely. Like if there are some jungle games that are Euro games, but usually jungle means adventure.
Let's see. Jungle means
So
adventure.
adventure or puzzle. So there is two
I
things.
see.
Like there are games that are I don't remember yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But for example, like Tikal, let's say. Well, we don't know if it's on any of our lists. I just remember Tikal. For
Mm-hmm.
example, it's a Euro game. There's not much exploration going on, or Zapotec, which was not a good game. But yeah,
Okay.
that's where it came from.
You just thought of a jungle because jungle means adventure.
Kinda. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, uh, how did you do your list?
I looked at my games and saw the ones that were arguably involving a jungle, and and picked 5 of those.
Yeah. I mean, mine are going the way that the more we approach the top, the more jungle you can probably see in a game.
I
So number
see.
5 might not be very jungly, but
Oh, okay. Well, so
I know.
one thing
I
I
mean,
noticed is that most jungle games also involve a temple.
yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of
So,
South American things and going on. So one thing is that jungle games here means also like there is a jungle in the game. It just with some games there is, but it has nothing to do with the theme, or the theme is very abstract. So just how it is, but it's still a jungle game,
yeah,
or a game with the jungle.
very well.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's just start.
All right. All right. My first one, and this is the one where I did some research, and so the line between a jungle and a rainforest is one that I don't think anyone quite knows what it is. But what I concluded is that a jungle is a type of rainforest. And
It's all the
that the
same for me. Yeah.
Amazon that the Amazon is sometimes referred to as the Amazon jungle, not just the Amazon rainforest, and therefore my number 5 is Life of the Amazonia.
I would say yes,
Okay.
because
I mean,
by jungle I mean all of that
all of that
rainforests and Amazons and
tree,
whatever.
and I found I spent too much time figuring out what the difference was and didn't succeed. It has to do with something about the different types of canopy growth and rivers. But anyway, in this game, what you are is you're in the Amazon and you are trying to populate it with different animals. It is one of those games where you'll acquire different chits and put them into a bag and then pull them out. And there's 3 different types of currencies you're trying to go for. There's one that will help you expand your water areas, one that'll help you expand your land. Well, I guess there's 4 types, excuse me. There's money that helps you buy more and better stuff, and then there's this fruit that will help you attract the different animals. Each animal is going to score in a different way, kind of Cascadia-like. So you're going to be picking the kind of animal you want to use and maximize your score. You also have one special animal that's unique. There's only one and it's for you, and you can unlock it and use its special ability as well. It's a light game, but it's a lot of fun. I've really had a good time with this one. It's easy to get into. The theme is appealing, and yeah, it's all about life in the Amazon. So that's my number 5.
Yeah, you even started getting hiccups because
I did. I was just so emotional about this game.
It's an Amazonian disease. You're already getting that. It's so much theme out there that kind of gets in.
Well, I mean, I don't know that the theme's super strong, but it is all about sort of placing the wildlife, and even if the theme takes a somewhat of a back seat, it's very much present.
All right. So my number 5 is somewhat a utopian approach to jungle. I mean, while you play the game, you don't really feel any jungle in it, but the box cover kind of shows it. Anyway, I thought about the other games, right? I just remembered a few more games that I could have put on the list, but whatever. That's the list. We have to deal with that. My number 5 is Uchronia. And Uchronia, as you can see, is a jungle. Or whatever it is. Or
Have
Amazon.
You played this game?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Why? Why are you asking?
I don't know.
So it's about
okay.
People living in a type of utopian jungle-esque society with temples and stuff with dinosaurs. And this
Somebody
one
told me jungle means adventure, and this game is not an adventure.
As I told you, we're going deep into the jungle as we approach my number 1. You know?
I see.
This one is just we're looking like it's like we're far away. Or like we're at home, we're Googling the pictures of a jungle right now. This is the beginning, you know. We're not buying tickets yet. The next game will be about buying tickets, then flying, and you see, we'll have our trip to the jungle.
It's a jungle journey.
Anyway,
got it.
Jungle journey, yes. Jungle cruise. So this one is a card management game where you can use your cards many different ways. It's Carl Chudik, who made what was the Roman thing?
Glory to Rome.
Glory to Rome, yes. And then Motainai or something like that, and so on. So he kind of repeats himself with those designs. But this one
definitely.
is... I mean, I found this one to be rather light and kind of enjoyable. Like having all those cards, you know, different symbols, how you use them for resources or for the special ability or for transaction or anything like that, for the icons on the top. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, and you're trying to get the different cards, which are like buildings or dinosaurs or something like that, which give you points at the end of the game. And yeah, it's just lighthearted hand management, card management game, which has a jungle in its theme, kinda, and on the box.
Yeah, it's
so
definitely on the box. I'll give it to you. It's on the box. It's nowhere else, but but it is on the box.
As I told you, right now we're Googling, looking at the pictures of a jungle.
I see. All right.
We're not in it yet. Yeah. All right.
Very well.
Let's get to number 4.
I like it. I prefer Glory to Rome. I mean, so Carl Chudik has been chasing Glory to Rome and remaking it for decades. And each time he tries a different iteration of the same game. I like it. But I'd pick Glory to Rome over Uchronia any day.
Sure, I've not played Glory to Rome. It's
Yeah,
hard to
you have
play
because
and
it's
get.
the same game.
I played Motanai, etc. So
It's also the
yeah,
same
probably.
game.
Yeah. Anyway, let's
Very
get to number
well.
4.
Mhm. Number 4 is a game that kind of feels like it was forgotten. I don't know why some games make it big and some games don't, especially of Days of Wonder. But this game just sort of feels like it was a flop. Nobody really talks about it, but I really enjoy it. The game is called Relic Runners, and
Yeah.
it is a well-produced game. It has these great little idol figures, some of which would be a real pain if you stepped on them. Um, and what you're doing in this game is you're trying to build a path. So you are going through this jungle and building your path so that you can have more efficient turns later on. You're going to be putting these path tokens out, and then eventually you're going to find yourself able to make a run, and you're going to try and use in one turn, go from a space with one of these relics to one of these temple spots, I believe is where you go to, and try and deliver that. It's sort of a set up your route and then deliver it. And if you're able to execute that, you get the bonus of that idol. So you're trying sort of running through the jungle and trying to sort of steal or reclaim or however you want to put it, these idols. You're also upgrading your character, and it's a fun little game. It's pretty easy, very much family sort of oriented, but it really came out and went nowhere. I mean, it went the way of Quadropolis in that it was a game that some people enjoyed and then kind of went away. Not sure
Yeah.
why, but I enjoy this one. And if I'm looking for a jungle, it's not just on the box; it's also on the board.
Yeah. I I think no, I'm not played that one. I skipped that one. For me, Days of Wonder started with I mean, I played Ticket to Ride first, I think, but wasn't a
Okay,
fan of it. So for me, the real Days of Wonder started with Five Tribes, I think, and then Quadropolis.
okay,
And also
and
the Roman thing, the Colosseum.
okay. Well,
So those
this
three
is one
games.
of the Days of
That one I
Wonders. I mean,
skipped.
it's definitely well produced. It looks great. It just
Yeah.
it's one that kind of never went anywhere. But I enjoy it, and it's got a
Yeah, and
jungle.
they're not the people who will reprint their older games really if they're not the huge hit.
No, they kind of focus on their successes, and I understand that, right?
Yeah, Ticket Ride and Heat, basically the two right now I think of as most successful games. Even though Five Tribes and others for Rapid was also
Well,
a good sell, I think. But yeah, I think Ticket
Five
Ride is main thing.
Tribes, Five Tribes they supported, right? They gave it the 2 expansions, so there's definitely a lot out there for it.
But I mean, like
It's
Heat is
I think
their
a
new Ticket
perennial.
to
Well,
Ride.
fair enough. Yes, Heat is a
Yeah,
mega hit. Um,
yeah. All
well,
right.
Heat is not on my
Cool.
list because it doesn't have a jungle,
Yeah,
even
true.
though jungles are hot.
Though, though,
Maybe Heat's on your list.
no. So for my number 4, and I just wanted to say that with some games, they're I could say it's kind of like a jungle or not. If it's on the edge of being like savanna or a desert like thing where there's jungles as well and stuff. Um, I try to avoid those. I try to go with jungle, like Uchronia.
Well, old Summoner Wars had a faction called the Jungle Elves. Does
Let's
that mean
not.
this can be on my list?
Nah, I don't think. I don't think that's true. Yeah, for my number 4, this one is surely a jungle game because it's or Amazonia or whatever rainforest, whatever. It takes place in Brazil, and it's called Brazil Imperial.
Ugh.
Yeah, and I enjoyed this game. Sadly, it's not supported, and maybe a few expansions would have made it better. I don't own it anymore, but I enjoyed it. You did not. I enjoyed it quite much because this one is sci-like game where you also upgrade your board and put the things out. The exploration was weak, but it's exploration in the jungle, and then you know create the production of wood and whatever else, and then you also have the cards which are like technology. So it's almost like a 4X game. There's combat and stuff, and it was an enjoyable experience as a whole, but just not enough without the expansions. I could not, you know, I could not keep it if I have Scythe with everything. You know, it's just Scythe is better. But this one, I enjoyed the theme. I enjoyed the production. All of those, you see, the things are basically there are the different soldiers or whatever armies, and I like how they approach it in a way that it's chess-like pieces. In a sense,
Yes.
there's also a cannon. I enjoyed that production. It's really cool. And I would encourage people to try this game out. They might find it really good.
Yeah, I found this one to be an absolute dud. I
I can
was
see.
really
I can
excited.
see.
I was really excited from the rules, but after playing it, I mean, you know, it was just it felt like it had all of the pieces to be exciting, but there was just no joy in it. And the combat was uninteresting, and if one player got a set of goals that just didn't meld well together, well, you know, there's not really a way to recover from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, there's
And
some.
I mean, I was prepared for this to be one of my very favorite games, and I ended up really bouncing hard off of it.
Yeah, maybe you were overhyped by this one, and then you just kind of.
I may have been, but
Because this
I
is a
did
good
not
game. This is a good design.
really enjoy it at
Honestly,
all.
This is not a bad design. I know from Kyle's perspective, it sounds like a bad design. It's not. It's not at all. It's a good design. It's a good game. It has
Well,
issues like many other games do, and you know even our favorite games have those issues. You know, there's some random stuff like exploration. I would have loved exploration to be more interesting and not
oh, look, they
so
got it.
random.
It's the shape of
Yeah.
Brazil.
Oh, that's cool.
Somebody must have
Yeah.
done that intentionally. Yeah, I would say try this one before you buy it, though.
Yeah, the thing is that maybe to try it intentionally, but the maps are pre-created, so you do not. So the shape of the map is you set it up as it is. Maybe there is a scenario that has this kind of a thing. So based on the number of players, there are different scenarios, and probably there is a scenario that has the shape.
Or the people just made it
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
picture.
But anyway, you can see this is in the thousands, which is a good number. The first
Yeah,
1,000 games is usually
and it
for
kind
someone
of
at
has a
least.
jungle in there.
It is. It has. It's Brazil. You
Mhm.
can see in the picture there is a jungle. Look,
Oh, yes, there it is. There it is. We found it.
and here, and there's some like you said with the Amazonian thing. There are some things like on the exploration tiles that are Amazonian
Yep,
stuff or whatever.
yep.
So as long as
There
you
you
put
go.
that game as number 5, this as my number 4. Look, I'm already buying tickets to the jungle. It's
I
already
see.
there.
Okay.
I'm
Yep,
I'm
yep.
I'm
You
pushing
found
this
a
buy
location that
button.
has one. All right.
Yeah. I'm pushing a button. All right, let's get to number 3. I will be flying now.
All right. My number 3 is all about exploring the jungle and doing so together in your own way. This is almost like a roll and write game, but the game is called Karuba. And Karuba is a game where you have a board and everyone is going to sort of set up. They have I think it's 48. I don't remember the number, but a series of these jungle tiles with paths on them, and someone is going to pull one randomly, and you are going to sort of place them on the board. and you are going inland to find these temples. You're trying to make paths and then move your little explorer along it. It's very much a game that anybody can play. It's designed for that. It was designed to win one of the sort of Spiel des Jahres awards. I don't think it did, but but that's okay. It's a very enjoyable game that can be played by really any number of players, and then you kind of compare your score. And really, you're just trying to place your paths more efficiently than everyone else. And every turn, one's drawn, and you can either place it on your board or you can throw it away and move your explorer along a number of spaces equal to the number of paths that were on that tile. And it's probably a 20-minute game, and then you can set it up and try it again. So that is my number 5. You're walking right through the jungle in Karuba.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It has trees on the tiles. I'll give you that. I mean,
And
there's
exploring
not much
temples.
theme in it. I mean, there's
No,
no theme in
there's
it.
no theme at all.
There's-
But it
Look,
takes place in a jungle.
I enjoyed it, but and it's definitely a game that a family of non-gamers, they own it as well as Monopoly and all other things, and they just pull it out, or Carcassonne, whatever, and they just play it. This one just doesn't have enough for me to stay to stay interesting. I just feel like this is too samey. You play it again, it's kind of same. Yeah, you pull out different tiles in a different order, but it's like there's not much going on, and for a gamer like me, it's just not enough. It's just too much of a family game. But I understand why people might enjoy it. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it
I
too when I
find that
played it.
it goes off well with lots of people. So, it may not be. I mean, it was never going to win the award. I think it came up the same year that Codenames did, but it was designed with that in mind, at least. So it's sort of for that audience.
Yeah, and they even made Karuba Junior, which is like how much easier you can get.
I don't know. I've not played Karuba Junior. I think regular Karuba is probably playable by in the junior audience as well.
Yeah, also think so. 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, wow.
No, well, there you go.
All right. My number 3 is now we're in. Now, like we traveled along path. We know we're here. We're in the jungle, and
Oh, I thought we were flying this time, or we've
no,
landed.
no. We were flying. We were buying a ticket, and we flew to the jungle. It's like it's in the same number, and now we're in there, but we're not in the jungle yet. We are in a city with a hotel, and we're going
A
to explore
hotel.
the jungle soon. So
Oh, I see. Okay.
we're starting our expedition, but we need to just get to the hotel, and organize the somebody to guide us through the jungle.
Uh-huh.
So my number 3 is a great game, but it just kind of got forgotten. And I feel like the theme doesn't help it. But if they would retheme it somehow, and they kind of did retheme it, there's a spiritual successor to Archipelago in a sense, but those were still
Oh,
very
what's
different
the
games
game?
for me. The game is called Archipelago.
I see.
Oops, that's not the one.
That does not look like a jungle game.
Look, it is. Just look closer. Just look closer. All right. So you can see
There
there's
we
a
go.
lot of jungle. Yeah, and you can see from the tiles there's a lot of jungle. Now, Archipelago is a kind of civ building game, and as I said, adventure exploration. There's a lot of exploration. There is an amazing pull out a tile, see if it fits. The land needs to fit. The water needs to fit. I like that. You go somewhere, you explore.
Are
Will
you
you be
saying
able
if
to
it
explore?
fits, it sits?
Yes, indeed. Now there is, and so it's a worker placement game. There's some take that elements to it, like war cards or something like that. Not too much. There are, yeah, those, the different cards are like technology cards, and you tap them in order to use them, and you are building different stuff like markets and shipyards and whatever else, and trying to get the resources, trying to fend off the rebellion altogether. Then you have hidden goals, like for example, like hidden scoring cards. But the thing is that the scoring cards, there's some, if I remember correctly, there's some individual stuff, and there's also the scoring cards show what you will score, including everyone else. So,
Yes.
for example, you have to build you have to have the most markets, let's say, and you have this card. This is your information. You know you want to do that. But if somebody else builds more markets than you, they get those points.
That's true.
Because you have this hidden goal, but it's still shared at the end of the game. It just other people don't know if they will score anything from those. So anyway, Archipelago is that I would say massive adventure, like building up 4x, kinda not really 4x, or civilization building. I don't know. There's so many things that when you play, you feel about it. I just really enjoy the system, and if the hidden goals is something that I would not really encourage, if they would ever do the reprint of this game with, let's say, a new theme, I could lose few things here and there, but keep the building, keep the exploration thing going.
The game definitely has a lot of moving parts, and that's why. I mean, look, I like the game too. I think it's a really fun game. It's just the way that it's presented is makes it difficult. And with those hidden goals and the hidden end game conditions, they're all
Yeah.
with symbols and no words, and that makes it, of course, difficult for people to process. And you can't really ask a question about it because it might tip your hand. And so it's,
They're all
you know,
explained in the rule book. I mean, just read the rule book.
sort of. You pass the rule book around and have everybody read it.
Yeah.
It's not explained as clearly as I think you might remember, right? I mean, it's one of those ones where it
not the best.
shows some of the cards and then lets you interpolate from some of the explanations.
It wasn't that bad, but I mean, it's a 2012 game. If they would rewrite the rules and make a new edition.
It's very much in need of that. And I love the game too, but it definitely is not as beginner friendly as perhaps it could be. And if it were more beginner friendly, it might get played a little more.
Yeah, that's that. Anyway, I hope, like, there's Living Planet, which is a kind of a spiritual successor. Those different games. I would want to have a reprint and re-edition of this one, particularly this one, taking some of the same stuff and maybe getting rid of some of the stuff and enhancing the good parts.
It could be done. It's probably due for that, for a little bit of tender loving care, because there is a good game here.
Yeah,
and it kind of has a jungle, so okay, fine.
It has a jungle. It has more jungle than one of your picks.
Which one?
Karuba?
Karuba's all about the jungle. You spend the entire game. Well, okay, it does have theme. I didn't say that Karuba had theme. Karuba definitely has jungle, though.
Yeah. All right.
Every tile has jungle on it.
I'll give you that. Let's go to number 2. So okay. Now we've found a guy. We found a guide. A guy who's a guide. And they are now gonna show us the jungle. We might get lost. We're preparing. We're getting water and everything. So let's get to number 2.
All right.
I mean, we probably will need to do some number 2 as well there during our trip.
All right, let's keep it going.
Just- I'm
All
trying to keep up
right.
with the theme. Yeah.
Yep, I can tell. My number 2 is a game that you enjoy and may even appear on your list. This is a game about exploring the jungle and the lost ruins that happen to be in it, and this is the Lost Ruins of Arnak, which is a
Really?
game. Yeah, I know. I
Not on
figured
my
you probably
list.
wouldn't fight me on this one.
It's not the jungle at all.
No,
No.
not at all. Um,
It's there's like a track where you move your pieces on. There's like cards.
mhm.
Nothing about the jungle. No.
Yeah, we'll hear about all these things in a moment, I'm sure. Um, so, in this
Who
game,
knows?
you're exploring a jungle, and you're doing so by playing cards, trying to sort of get resources from these cards, and then use the cards for their transport symbols so that you can place your workers in increasingly more difficult areas of a jungle and find various items and benefits. There are monsters that you may fight, and they're not really monsters, they're more annoyances or opportunities to score points and get bonuses. Things to do, right? Because when you fight the monster, you'll pay some resources and just take its token. Um, it's a great game. I really enjoy it. Lots of people really enjoy it. It's one that I've taught very successfully many times. The theme is there, and the artwork is very nice and really does its best. I mean, at its core, it's a worker placement game with some deck building as well. But it's all about gathering your resources and going into the jungle and and exploring a temple. And there's some expansions that add stories to it that sort of let you explore the theme a little bit more deeply. And it's just a great one that I really enjoy.
Yeah, when you see this game being set up, you feel like there's a lot going on. It's not really the case here. There's so the mechanisms are simple. Everything is very clear iconography. So
It's
yeah,
very
if
approachable.
it's very approachable. Though if you add the expedition leaders and those might make it a little bit more difficult. So don't play with that if you want to play it for the first time. Just to
Yeah, yeah. I would agree with that. I mean, if somebody already is very familiar with this or has played similar games, you could start with the expedition leaders. They don't add that much, but it's just a few cards and some special abilities. But for sort of your average player, yeah, I would say start with just the core and work your way up from there.
Right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It's definitely a game about jungle. Um,
Yeah, we might hear about
little
it
bit.
in a moment. Um,
Yeah, all those tracks and stuff. I don't know, but
uh-huh.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. We'll see. All right, my number 2.
Did you get lost on your expedition?
Oh, did you know? How did you know? Yeah, so we went into the jungle. We did our number 2s and stuff, and then we got lost. And we kind of got lost. Yeah, it's harsh. The jungle is harsh. There's so many diseases and insects and stuff, and some people who want to catch us and eat us, and we're trying to survive in the lost expedition.
Oh, I'm so surprised. Um,
Look, this is
this
literally
is
just a
the first
jungle
game with a
game.
jungle on your game on your list.
I would say the same for you. Uh, anyway, this is all about jungle. This is just a survival game. You're trying to get to the end of the jungle path, find the gold city of whatever, and the gold temple or something like that. And you are playing. This is a cooperative game. You are playing those different cards, and you are trying to lay the cards in a way that you will be able to deal with them. Some things are a a must do thing. Some things are you need to choose one of those things, and some things are optional, like blue things. And yeah, as you can see,
Blue
you
things are
can
optional.
Yeah, blue things are optional, and you can skip some cards, but you're basically creating the path. Well, hello, I'm back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Let me see. Wait.
We're still on.
All right. Now I'm here. You hear me
Welcome.
now?
I
Yes.
do.
Something happened. My microphone just went. I don't know. Something
Yeah,
happened. Anyway,
I was. You saw me changing my headphones. I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know how much
Anyway,
you
Lost
heard.
Ruins.
Not Last Ruins, the Last Expedition.
Oh, sorry, Lost Expedition. Very well. So we're going
So
through blue things are optional, is I think the last that I heard.
no, the thing is that you spend resources. Resources are scarce. You need to manage stuff, and sometimes there's like it's a little bit of random what cards you're dealt, and most of the cards are bad. Only some of the cards are good. And during the day, you need to lay out the cards in a numerical order, so from the lowest number to the highest number. At night, you need to lay them out as you lay them out. Basically, the first card is the first one in the row, the second is the second one in the row, etc. So you need to manage the cards in your hand because half of the cards will be used during the day, half the cards will be used during the night. You have to be smart about that, and at least one of your three people needs to survive and reach the temple. So all you're trying to do, you're trying to get those icons, the moving icons, eventually not die.
Yep, that's right.
It's very simple. There are some expansions that add few other things to small modules and stuff, which is fun. The Fountain of Youth, I think, is the expansion's name. I also had some promos, but I lost my copy of the game. Yeah, I was given it by Asper Games. I lost my copy of the game, and I think they sent me another one, but without all of those promos, which is I'm very thankful for that. I don't remember how, but just got lost. Maybe I took it on a trip and just leave it somewhere. Anyway, I do have it now, and it's a lot of fun. I've not played it in a long time, but it's so easy to get it to. I mean, it's easy to get it to the table because there's not much to explain. Just let's lay out the cards. Like we can play just the first game, explore it, lay out the cards. Let's just do the symbols. You will figure it out on the way.
Yeah, I have one big problem with this game. And that is that it is in a box that is entirely too small.
Oh, the cards are tarot-sized cards.
Yes. Yeah, they're big cards, and there's no real way to organize all the little chips and tokens in this box. So
I threw away the insert, which was not helpful, and I keep everything in the box and with the expansion cards as well. But it's like, it's no more can fit there,
Yeah, it's a box that's much too small, but it's a fine game. I suspect that it might find its way on your list.
It's about jungle.
This one is. Yes, that's true.
This one is exactly about jungle. All right. Let's get to the final number 1.
All right. All right. My number 1 is one specific game, but it's really any of the 3 in this series. And the game I will say, and I'm putting it on the jungle list specifically for the jungle list, is Primeval Peril.
Peril?
Peril, P-E-R-I-L.
P-E-R-I-L?
There you
Sleeping
go.
Gods?
Yes, that's the one. Any of the 3 really would fit, but this one, you can see from the cover, is all about an exploration in the jungle. This is the smallest of the sleeping gods. This is the one that was made initially as a demo and then republished or published formally when the Distant Skies came out. It's very much, this is all about sort of exploring and having this experience in the jungle, a shared cooperative experience. It's a short campaign that you can play through pretty quickly to sort of get a nice taste of what Sleeping Gods is going to give you. And then, if you want to, you can buy one of the other sets and go in for the long Sleeping Gods. But any of the Sleeping Gods system of games, okay, the Distant Skies doesn't really have jungles, but the other two do. Sort of core Sleeping Gods and Primeval Peril. You're just sailing around, chopping through the underbrush, seeing what monsters and items you can find, and just having a choose your own adventure, almost reading a story cooperatively more than playing a game. It's very much more story than game. I just want to emphasize that. Whereas Life of the Amazonias is more game than story. we've kind of flipped ourselves on our head. But Primeval Peril is very much all about a jungle. You can tell that from the box and from the artwork and from everything else, and it's a great time.
Yeah, hopefully, I don't know. That seems to
You've
be
never played a Sleeping Gods game.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. I might be able to play it at some point.
Well, this is the one to try, right? Because you're not committing to all day.
Yeah. That what kept me away from Sleeping Gods is that there's a lot going on. I mean, like the rules wise, but I mean, like you need to invest some time into it, and yeah. At that point, when I was offered to play Sleeping Gods, was like, I don't want to start a new. Like I told them, can I just play it once and not, if like, can we just play the one-off thing? And then they said, no, you have to play a campaign. I'm like, not into that at the moment. Not because of the game, it's just because of the campaign.
You really do. You really can't experience Sleeping Gods without sort of playing through. It's not a campaign. It's more like one very long game.
That's the problem I have. Yeah.
and this one is okay. Look, it says 120 to 240 minutes. It's going to be on the usually on the short. It's going to be the shorter side of that, but it's one that you could play in an afternoon rather than needing to commit your weekend.
Let's see. All right. So for my number one.
Oh, am I going to be shocked?
Yeah, so we got lost in the jungle, and
I see.
But we survived, and we kind of found a temple. It's still far away. We kind of entered the world of. Have you seen the Journey to the Middle of the Earth or something like that? With the rock
center of the Earth.
It's the second one. The second one was with the jungle.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
It's Journey to the Center of the Earth. There was the first one, and the second one was especially with the jungle, with the dinosaurs and stuff. But basically, here we have entered a world which is inhabited with strange monsters. They're huge. We're trying to survive.
You have to give them 2 coins and an airplane symbol to get rid of them.
Yes, and climb up the track to reach the temple. To explore, to reach the temple, to get 11 points or 6 points or 2 points or everything combined. Lost Ruins of Ornek.
Oh, what a shock.
Yeah. You didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't. You completely had me bamboozled.
Woo. Anyway, yeah, this is an amazing game. I love it. And we're going through that's why I told you I just don't want to start any games that are campaign only, because we started that one, which is a short campaign. It's a solo or 2 players campaign. I don't play solos, so I started with another person, and we've only done 3 chapters in a long time. It's like it's hard to get together to pull out the game. It's a lot of setup, but the Missing Expedition expansion offers this small campaign, which I feel like is a good campaign. I mean, you're still playing
Okay.
Arnek. What you're doing differently is that you are implementing the solo game rules where there is it's rather simple um rather simple NPC player where you turn over the tile and see what it does, and it just it takes this spot here, or it takes this spot, or it moves up the track, whatever. It's easy. And what makes the missing expedition cool and the campaign scenarios cool is that they give you a specific mission.
Mm-hmm.
The layout of the board is specific as well. Like, you have to deal with that stuff. You have to deal with that. So you need to do that in 6 turns, whatever. Like, there are all those different missions that spice up the game, because honestly, it feels the same game, but plays very differently as a co-op game, as a 2-player game. A lot of thinking, a lot of figuring out, and talk about, should let me buy that card, or like if you solve like those optional small missions, you
Mm-hmm.
get some cards. Like, who should get this card? Let me get this card, or let me get this card, because my deck is towards that and your hero is towards that. So let me deal with the monsters while you deal with climbing up the expedition track, whatever, like, or temple track. Like, there's a lot of cooperation going on. I mean, you played it solo, but as a 2-player game, as a 2-player co-op experience, this campaign is really good. I really enjoy it. And eventually, once we're done with that, we can just throw all that stuff into the main box, and
Yes,
mostly
you
it's
can.
just I think, was it new tracks? Like 2 new leaders, which is just put them in, new tracks, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
just put them in, and new cards, whatever,
And new
just put
cards.
them in. They
Yeah,
all work right away. They don't need any special rules. They just work.
that's true.
So yeah, Last Ruins of Arnak, and I hope for more expansions. I'll keep buying them. I
Well,
don't have any more room in my.
I was gonna say that's they don't
They
fit in the
need.
box as it is. Um,
Yeah, they could fit if I would throw away my insert, because I had the folded space insert,
mm-hmm.
because I didn't want to have that. Like, first of all, folded space inserts are much cheaper and they're not
Mm-hmm.
as heavy, and they work. And
Okay.
I had the first design,
And they work.
then new expansions came out, and then they gave my insert away and bought an upgraded insert from Folded Space, a newer insert,
Mm-hmm.
which also looks a little bit cooler and is a little bit better. And now probably I will have to wait for a third edition of Folded Space insert when it comes out. I don't know. It just yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know
know how
what you're
to fit
saying.
everything in the box without the insert, but or
Yeah,
with the insert now.
it's kind of rough. I have a similar situation. This game does not fit in its box as it is. I would love for it to do so. Um,
It's a standard box thing. I feel like if they would, I mean, eventually they do not do that, but they could just come up with a big box, and with Scythe, for example, that you could buy the box separately. I would encourage them to do the same eventually if they have more expansions, and not make people to buy the whole game as a big box edition, but rather give them opportunity to just buy a box. I would buy it.
uh-huh. I bet you would. I definitely wouldn't. I've
Yeah,
never bought empty boxes for things.
for sure. Yeah, or like Wingspan, big box.
Oh my goodness.
It had an Asian expansion in it,
Mm-hmm. You did.
which is mostly making it the empty box, just a few cards in. But
That's true.
anyway, Last Prince of Arnak, my number one.
All right, there we go. I won't disagree with you on it. There we
we
go.
finally
That's
found our way.
5 jungles.
Yeah, we survived, and then the helicopter, or whatever, the plane, took us back to Estonia. We're
I
back
see.
here. No more jungle for us.
No jungles in Estonia.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of forests in Estonia. I wouldn't
There
call them a
are.
jungle thing.
I don't think that they are. I think jungles kind of need a tropical climate.
Yeah,
Which
we do
Estonia
have.
does not have.
Right now, it's quite warm, but we do have.
Wait.
So Estonia is more of a swamp and trees and forests.
Estonia is more of
Kinda.
a swamp. All right. Well,
Yes.
we'll take
Yes.
that one.
Whoa. Do not quote me on
Estonia
that.
is more of a swamp. Well, you don't have to
Yeah.
quote. We can quote you because you just recorded it.
Yeah. But it really
Jungle
has lots
means
of
adventure,
swamps and
and
healthy.
Estonia is a swamp.
And they call them the health tracks or something like that, where you health paths, where they've built different paths across many swamps and
I've
forests.
seen those.
Yeah, and you can just walk there and just be one with nature, and feel relaxed. And
One with nature
honestly, it's good.
on a naturally occurring wooden path.
Yeah, you just don't need to jump into the swamp because
Oh, that's true. Well, Estonia is more of a swamp, I heard.
from a rather particular Estonian.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
We're back from our jungles.
Thank you for watching,
Thank you.
and we'll see you another time.
That sounds like a good idea. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.